Caccioppoli. I wasn't even going to do this today, but it's amazing when your campaign is sinking, like the Clinton campaign is sinking. What happens on a daily basis, just to try to change the narrative, as I was talking about yesterday. Today, David Brock, and we'll get to who he is in a minute. But David Brock, his some kind of a group he started, has filed a ethics complaint, a complaint against the Sanders campaign, fundraising, some kind of fundraising complaint. I won't even get into the details; it's so ridiculous. Something like he's raising too much money from people giving more than they should. I don't know what exactly he's talking about, since Bernie Sanders is getting an average of $27 from people. Hillary's getting hundreds of thousands of dollars per person from in a Clooney fundraiser, but it's Bernie who's raising too much money from people. People are giving too much money, supposedly. And we know the real reason behind it is that Bernie's raising money, hand over fist. He beat her in January, he beat her in February, hopefully he'll beat her in March, probably will. And he probably will beat her in March, and this is why this is coming out a day before the fundraising deadline for March. And the Clinton campaign didn't expect this. It's not that they didn't expect Bernie to have a following, it's that they didn't expect him to be able to raise money. And this is very important, because after her wins up until March 15th, where she got the big lead because they stacked, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, her buddy at the DNC, stacked the deck in her favor for the first half of the season, getting all the Deep South states in there at the beginning. What they were hoping for is that it would overwhelm Bernie, and that he wouldn't have the money to sustain the race for the second half, which, as we're seeing, these big wins he's having, like 40, 50 points in all these states, they were hoping that he wouldn't be able to stay in the race because of money. And they were figuring that by March 15th he'd have to drop out. In fact, I think they were hoping that on March 15th he would drop out after March 15th. But that's not the case, because Bernie has been able to raise so much money. And that's the one thing they weren't expecting, and that is the wild card in this whole thing. And now Bernie has the money to stay in not only to the second half, but all the way to the convention. And this makes him very nervous. So, David Brock, let's get to David Brock. David Brock is a little worm. He's like those little bugs you see on the street crawling, and you want to just squash them. You want to step on them and squash them. And that's what David Brock is. He's a little worm that needs to be stepped on and squashed. This is the guy who went after Anita Hill. Now, let that sink in for a second. This is a Hillary Clinton ally. She loves him. And he's the one who went after Anita Hill. He was on the side of Clarence Thomas. That's who this is. He's an attack dog. That's all he does. All he does is attack. He's a little scumbag. And I would love to get David Brock in a room one-on-one. Just me and David Brock. No more Mr. Tough Guy. I can guarantee you that. Of course, I'm not going to get that opportunity, I don't think, but I wish I would. But he's a little bug you want to squash. He's a slime ball. He's a weasel. He's a fake. He's a fraud. And this is the guy. He's a Clinton ally. It's written up on MSNBC today. Hillary Clinton ally David Brock. And also, if I go down the story here, let's see. It's not only David Brock. The group's co-founder is Brad Woodhouse, who is also the president of the super PAC Correct the Record, which coordinates directly with the Clinton campaign through a novel legal agreement. Think about that. Novel legal agreement. That means she breaks the law. That's basically what Hillary does anyway. She knows how to skirt the law and even just go over that line enough where, her supporters are dumb enough to think she's not doing anything wrong, but we know she's breaking the law. So these are two guys who are Hillary Clinton allies. Okay, they've been Bill's buddies for years, and they're filing this ethics complaint against Bernie Sanders, who has over almost 7 million individual contributions that are about $27 to $30 each on average. So I had to come out and talk about this today, because this is just ridiculous. And it shows how desperate they are. They don't want to talk about the issues anymore. The issues ended on March 15th. That's it. We don't know. Hillary might do this debate now in April in New York, might not. She's not sure. He's got to tone it down. He's got to kiss her ass first. He's got to be real nice to her. He's got to bring her water at the debate. He's got to talk about no one wants to see her emails at the debate. I don't know what she wants, but we're not sure. We think it might happen. It might not happen. Who knows? But anyway, there were those two things. Hillary Clinton actually sent out a tweet. I'll be fair, it probably isn't her, it's probably her staffers, but her staffers are so stupid. I mean, they keep on saying dumb things, but this is a tweet a staffer sent out. Yes, it's a staffer, it doesn't have Hillary's name on it, so it's probably a staffer. Some folks may have the luxury to hold out for the perfect, in quotes, but a lot of Americans are hurting right now, and they can't wait for that. Okay, that could be the saddest and most desperate tweet I've ever seen in my life. In other words, settle. Settle for me. Settle for the person with the minus 21 approval rating, because there's that guy with the minus 30, Trump, who I'll be running against. I'm a little bit better than that. You know, he's minus 30. I'm only minus 21. But don't vote for the guy who's plus 15. Don't vote for that guy. Don't vote for the guy with the plus 15 approval rating, because we can't wait for him. Which doesn't even make any sense, because he'd be president on January 20th, 2017, just like her. So there'd be no waiting. The same amount of time. They both take office the same day. I don't understand what they're talking about. But this is how sad and desperate this is. Once again, this is not an issues thing. This is just desperation. It's desperation. That guy with the plus 15 approval rating is too pie in the sky. This is America. We need to have an election where we decide between a minus 21 approval and a minus 30 approval. And minus 21 is 9 points better than minus 30. So that's it. The plus 15. We don't have people with plus 15 approval ratings in the general election in this country. What are you talking about? Canada? Talking about Germany? UK? Italy? France? Not the United States. It's impossible. Once again, it's probably going to be a daily thing here now. You know, just this desperation, this grasping at straws, tone it down, file ethics complaints, don't settle for me. It's really getting to the point now where this is going to be a daily thing until she drops out. And my guess is she's not going to drop out until June 7th, the earliest, when he beats her in California huge. She might take it all the way to the convention. I don't know. Maybe. It's possible. I don't know. But this is just what you call, Barack Obama had the term silly season, and that's what this is becoming. It's becoming silly season. This is what we're talking about now. We're talking about, little worms like David Brock. We're talking about her campaign calling Bernie a Brooklynite as that's a negative thing. Settle for minus 21 approval rating. Don't vote for the guy with the plus 15 approval rating. And this is what's going on. We'll see if there's a debate in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully the week before New York, which is April 19th, there will be a debate. That would be great to see. The people deserve it. Oh, here, one thing I'll leave you with. In 2008, when she was running against Barack Obama, Hillary said, "We can never have too many debates. In democracy, you must debate. It's important. No such thing as too many debates." Now, of course, she's saying, well, enough debates. I think 8 or 9. Republicans have had like 15. 8 or 9 debates is enough. We don't. So I guess she's evolving again. Put that in quotes. Evolving again on the issue of debates. This is Hillary. Say one thing one day, talk the talk, not walk the walk. It's more of the same. It's, doing things like saying I'm tough on guns, then having a fundraiser where the NRA is giving you money, which just happened. I'm not beholden to rich people, than having a $300,000 plate fundraiser. Again, she's going back today, I believe, to Goldman Sachs people and getting more money for her campaign. This is it. I talk the talk, I don't walk the walk, and my supporters will be too infatuated with me. I don't know what it is. Diva worship, whatever it is. They're not going to care. Anyway, that's enough for today. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about tomorrow. Anyway, Bernie 2016, hashtag Feel the Burn. Go to Bernie's store. I think this is only like $20. And I wear it everywhere, and people see it. I'm in California. It's important. San Francisco. People see this. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot.